It won't be an exaggeration if I say this is the best coupe SUV that you can buy in India right now. And it is electric. Well, to know the full story, let's rewind. Well, this is Mahindra's flagship EV, the Mahindra XEV 90 in its top spec Pack 3, guys. Well, Mahindra has kept it quite simple by offering just 3 variants, Pack 1, Pack 2 and Pack 3, this being the top of the line version with a 79 kWh battery pack. In this video, we have made it quite simple for you to form a decision. The real world performance, real world range, quirky feature, what works, what doesn't, and most important, is it worth spending rupees 30.5 lakh rupees on this one? We shall find out. Well, under the floor, there's a 79 kWh battery pack that sends power to the rear wheels. Well, it produces 281 bhp and 380 Newton meters of peak torque. Now, about the range, well, Mahindra has ambitiously claimed an ARI certified range of 656 kilometers on a single charge. Well, they have also been realistic and also given a more real-world range of around 500 kilometers. That said, if you visit their website or check their brochure in detail, there's a section where they have displayed or they have showed a real-world range based on the cities they have tested in, and Mumbai on the list had a range of 497 kilometers. So how much did we got exactly? Well, in a CarWale style extensive range test, we have extracted 462.6 kilometers on a single charge until the car was completely dead and we had to push it to the charging station. Well, for a car of this size and 2.2 tons, well, that is quite impressive, roughly around 70% of what they claim. Now, for our testing, the region level was set at 2, AC temperature at 23 or 24, and fan speed on 1 or 2. Also, the default driving mode, which is again the default driving mode, was selected throughout. Also, one thing to mention, we drove it like you will drive it in your real life conditions, meaning we played the music, the speakers were blasting on, and I'll talk about the speakers later in the video. The ventilated seats were constantly used, and in Mumbai the traffic is decent. There have been patches where the car didn't move at all, it was standstill for a long period of time. There were many signals, many traffic jams that we witnessed over our run, but still the car manages to give us 462.6 kilometers on a full charge. That's impressive. The first pro itself is the ride and handling and the overall driving dynamics of this car. Well, the Mahindra XEV 90 uses Pentalink independent suspension with semi-active dampers. What does that mean in real life? Well, excellent high-speed stability, there's good control over the car, excellent ride quality, and also a level of comfort you won't expect out of a car of this size. Even with the 19-inch wheels wrapped around 245 by 55 profile tires, it irons out most of the bumps and there's no drama of moving around. Even the body roll is well controlled. I mean, it is not perfect, but you won't feel floaty or disconnected at any point of time. Now, you won't call it agile. It is 2.2 tons, but it feels planted and confident while on expressways, especially during our highway runs. That said, the main talking point over here is the steering wheel. Well, this is by far the best two-spoke implementation in any car of a two-spoke steering wheel I have ever seen. There is no cheap plastic, it doesn't feel cheap at all, there's no panel gaps. The buttons are tactile, very clear, very precise, and the region modes or region toggles are implemented very well in the steering wheel itself. Even there's a one pedal mode and there's another button called boost mode. Now, I said boost mode. What happens when I press that button? Let's see. Editor, add some drama. Well, there are more quirky features as well. First of all, you get a selfie camera with filters, so you can enjoy taking selfies on this car. Well, it is not just for that. It is really useful because it also developed as an attention device where if you're driving and you take off your sight from the road, it will guide you, it will inform you that you need to focus on driving. Other than that, you have this hidden compartment, a storage where you can store your phone, charge your phone wirelessly along with two Type-C charging ports. But what's really steal the show is the light show. You can make the car dance according to your music, and that will also reflect on the roof. Well, it gets a panoramic glass roof with ambient light built into it, into Mahindra logos. It glows, it pulses, and really looks absolutely stunning. There's a setting called V8 Tribute. If you turn on that, you can literally emulate the sound, the exhaust note, and the engine grunt of a V8 engine. Do you want to listen to that? Check this out. I love that personally, and I think you are going to love it too. I drive it in this mode by default in any modes I'm driving in. And while on test run on highways, I use this and it really made me feel that I'm driving a very powerful car. In fact, it is powerful, but a more like a nice engine car, a V8 car. Well, I personally like the design of the B6 more. It is more aggressive, more futuristic. On the flip side, this one looks very elegant, very simple and very proportionate as well. It is a 4.6-meter long SUV and rather the space inside is excellent. But about the design, I really like how the fascia look. It is subtle yet aggressive. I like the LED DRLs, the headlamp. Also, one thing to note, the one design element that really stood out for me are the gloss black elements compared to the plasticky looking matte black finish. You get the same finish on the claddings, on the ORVMs and also on the roof. And that is really adding to the character of this car. Now, I was testing this car for 3 to 4 days for the range test. And during my run, a lot of people stood by, asked me which car is this because of the logo, because of the design. It looks so futuristic. People thought it is some new brand because not a lot of people recognize the new Mahindra Infinity Butterfly logo. Well, one of the most important USP of the Mahindra XEV 9e is the storage spaces, and talking about that, it gets a powered tailgate with a boot capacity of 663 liters. That's absolutely humongous. As you can see, you can really move your house around with this one. Well, not just a massive boot space, the Mahindra XEV 9e also has a huge frunk storage space of about 150 liters, which is actually double the size of the Tata Harrier EV. Well, you can store a couple of bags, even your charger can fit in here. Also, one plus point over here is hydraulic struts for easy access. Well, now on to the next row, and that is the triple screen layout of the Mahindra XE90. Yes, you get two screens for co-driver and driver and one instrument panel. Now, these screens are very detailed, very crisp, and have all the information laid out very precisely. They are plenty bright, no issues outdoor, but most important, they are very responsive. It is all thanks to the Snapdragon SoC that works behind the scene and makes this software very fluid to use. As I mentioned, it is very responsive. Both the screens, they share similar platform. You can watch YouTube videos, you can watch CarWale videos and hit the subscribe button from here as well. So I'll recommend doing that. Also, you can listen to the music, but most importantly, what adds to the premium experience is the 1600 watts 16 speakers set up by Harman Kardon. And it is a no joke. It is tuned by Dolby Atmos and the overall experience is just cinema. I mean, listen to this.
This is going to be three new variants, Mahindra 3XO, the Rev X M, the Rev X O, and the Rev X A.
But it's not all praises. There are cons that I would like to address on my personal usage over 3 or 4 days. Well, first of all, these seats definitely are comfortable, but they lack under thigh support. Also, the driver seat is power adjustable, but the co-driver seat misses out on that function. It is manually adjustable. So I believe that is a major con. It should have been a powered co-driver seat as well. Apart from that, the upholstery is white, so again, as I mentioned, it might get dirty over the time. One thing I noticed, the dashboard layout is amazing. The color palette is absolutely stunning. The white upholstery, the white interiors. But what I think, this part, the dashboard color on the dashboard, it is somewhat not enough fancier for this car. It might suit the BE6, but this look a bit dull. I believe this should have been something else. Either a white finish could have worked better than this. Also, other features that I think it misses out on, one is the digital IRVM. Well, it is a coupe SUV, and you know, when there's a coupe SUV, the rear visibility takes a hit, and even this car has adjustable headrest for all the passengers at the back. That means the center headrest really block or hinders the view. I believe a digital IRVM would have made more sense, as the competition like Tata Harrier EV now also gets. That said, I feel Mahindra should add this in future updates, digital IRVM. Also, it doesn't get an all-wheel drive system, which is a major miss, because its competitor, again the newly launched Harrier EV, has one that is also priced 1.5 lakh rupees cheaper than the top spec rear-wheel drive XEV 9e. So with a real-world driving range of approximately 460 to 480 kilometers, the Mahindra XEV 9e is a very practical option. I mean, if your daily commute is approximately around 30 to 50 kilometers, you can actually pull off a weekend getaway with this one and still have some charge left for your next Monday. Now, for the price 30.50 lakh, the factory variant really packs a lot of features. There's auto park assist, triple screen layout. So yes, it is practical, it is feature rich. Also, when compared to its direct rival, the Tata Harrier EV, it has an advantage of all-wheel drive tech. So let us know in the comments, will you pick the Mahindra XEV 9e over the Tata Harrier EV? Also let us know, can you use an EV of approximately 450 to 460 kilometers real driving range as your only primary car in your garage? Let us know. My name is Haji and you are watching CarWale.